Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. Thank you so much for joining me today. First up, it is Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry, and we're discussing ketamine-assisted psychotherapy with Kelsey D. Then George Raptis with Mike Thomas Associates joins me in studio to chat about if right now is a good time to buy a home and also the current market trends. And later, it's epic discounts at epic prices. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry. Welcome back to Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry. We have so much to discuss today, but we also have a special guest. So in addition to joining me is Sean Goddard, who is the owner of Viking Psychiatry, and Kelsey D, who is a therapist there. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Yeah, so on this day, we love to talk about things that really help empower people with their mental health, learning more just about tools that are available in our community. And I understand that you own a facility and you also work with Viking. So why don't we start off by just learning more about you, Kelsey?
Yes, I'm Kelsey Dharmakal. I have been in practice as Positive Perceptions for the last 5 years. My educational background, I guess, to go back even a little bit further, starting as a teenager, I really got involved in the neurodivergent affirming community and also mental health advocacy. With my undergrad, I went to school to become a special education teacher, and I really enjoyed that. But at the very last second, I realized I had the right population, working with students with autism, ADHD, learning disabilities, but the wrong setting. I wanted to be able to really individualize and work with each of my students to find their strengths and their struggles and help them be able to accommodate and learn how to adapt and move through that and really thrive. So I switched to psychology. I got a master's degree in rehabilitational counseling and then mental health counseling. And I've used that to create those just truly unique treatment plans for each of my clients. With that, I need to learn a lot. I need to stay on top of research and just always be curious. And part of that learning and growing was connecting with Viking Psychiatry because of their innovative practices there. And it's been wonderful to be able to work with them and really help support our clients and work as a team.
Exactly. I mean, especially with bringing in that experience from working with youth and adolescents, I'm sure that provides just a different perspective, especially as they grow, and then the different areas of our brain grows, our emotions grow, so that just really impacts our mental health, I feel like, altogether as we just face new challenges, right? And so what do you specialize in at Viking?
At Viking, I specialize in ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. And what ketamine-assisted psychotherapy is we combine talk therapy with ketamine, which is a treatment traditionally used for anesthetic, but we found a lot of research and FDA support to be able to use it to help with depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, some chronic pain conditions. But that combination really allows us to make progress in a way that we've just never seen before in the field of mental health.
Yeah, which is important. And so, Sean, as you, continue, we always talk about your innovation and just how you're looking at ways of growing and helping your clients. How is it so important that Kelsey's role is really impacting Viking?
Yeah, I think, we've talked before that we do IV ketamine, right, which is the medical side, which really can have a significant impact on people's mental health status, how they're feeling, whether it's depression, PTSD, right? But that treatment is sometimes just a portion of the outcome, right? And even though we begin to feel better, we often have a lot of deep-seated or underlying issues that still need to be addressed and resolved. And so ketamine-assisted psychotherapy really takes people that maybe either sometimes struggle with therapy, period, struggle with any type of breakthroughs, and really softens that barrier to where they can have a lot of benefit from therapy. So we are super excited to be able to offer this modality because it's allowing people. We have a client that went through ketamine therapy and did well, but really needed to push forward. And we see that now this client is able to go into therapy with the assistance of ketamine where maybe they weren't able to really be productive in therapy before and just have gains, significant gains.
Yes, and so through your experience, Kelsey, how have you seen a real breakthrough in this medicine, and how is it different from other mental health treatments that may be on the market?
So one thing that I see that's just very different is that with traditional talk therapy, it's slow and usually steady, but slow and steady process. When we add medication therapy, and medication can take several weeks to help support the client. But with the ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, we're seeing some relief of symptoms within days. Like it's a very fast turnaround. And another thing that's very unique about ketamine-assisted psychotherapy is that we're able to actually get to the root, that we can help clients be able to process emotions in new ways, have different perspective, different insight in trauma responses, and be able to really address that instead of just helping with symptoms.
That's good. Yeah, getting to the root is so important. And so, Sean, who do you feel is the proper candidate for this? I mean, are there? I know you mentioned some things that people may be going through, but is there an age restriction?
Yeah, right now with the ketamine, we only are using it in the ages 18 and above. Consideration can be given below that in unique situations. But overall at this time, Kelsey is treating clients 18 and older. And, when it comes to the actual struggle that people are dealing with, I think it's not only about, whether we're struggling with depression or anxiety or PTSD, but I think it's really beneficial. This doesn't necessarily have to be the first step in therapy, right? But if you've been in therapy and you have found difficulty in obtaining relief or forward movement and progression, this is a type of therapy that really can help enable and break down those walls. Sometimes the way that I explain it to people to kind of understand, it's kind of like when you go to a social setting and maybe you're a little bit shy and don't want to talk, right? And then you have a drink or two, and then all of a sudden you're a little bit more loose and a little bit more open and willing to be part of that,
courage.
right? A little liquid courage, right? But in this case, we're breaking down those barriers when it comes to therapy and trauma and reducing the trauma response so that you can dig deeper without necessarily causing that response to occur. And so it's really for those people, for a wide variety of people, but definitely people who maybe have struggled in the past.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing about this and what you all do with this ketamine assistance, and just the fact that it's open to so many people to get to the root of it. Like you said, break down the barrier, get to the root. I think that's important. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
And if you would like more information about Viking Psychiatry, we'll have their website listed below. You can contact them to get a consultation, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
This segment sponsored by Mike Thomas Associates. Okay, so next we're going to discuss what is happening in the housing market right now. Is it a good time to buy, sell, and more information as the market is having its ups and its downs. And I'm so thrilled to be joined by George Raptis with the Raptis team and Mike Thomas Associates. Hi, George.
Hi,
welcome.
happy spring.
Happy spring. It's here, and I know it's on so many people's minds. What should they be doing right now when it concerns their home? You have taken us on fabulous home tours, but now George is joining me in studio to give us the rundown. So what's happening right now in the market?
Oh, it's the spring market. So we know that during the springtime, it's going to be really busy. We're going to pick up a lot of potential people thinking about buying and selling a home. And what we maybe want to address today is maybe some of the concerns, fears of is now the right time to make a transaction or a move, and kind of give some information that way.
Yeah, because we're dealing with a kind of volatile market a little bit, a little bit of unsurety when it comes to like what should you invest in. So do you feel that investing in property right now is good?
I believe right now is going to be one of the best times for the near future.
Okay, and why is that?
Well, this is probably one of the best markets. So now you've got to define what best means, right? So being the best market, meaning that the buyers now have some options. And what I want to take a step back real quick and say, to all the homeowners out there, congratulations, you have achieved 11 years of appreciation in the last 4. So that's something we haven't seen in Fort Wayne for a really long time. And we hear things getting thrown out like the affordability of homes, and is it, right now a good time to show. I believe Good Morning America the other day had a Fort Wayne as the 3rd best market for affordability.
Wow.
And I know that doesn't feel the right, but that just kind of shows us nationally how expensive homes really are in other places. The good market right now means that there's good inventory, meaning that a buyer has some selection. We have an opportunity to go take a look at homes, but the sellers are still achieving maximum value for the house. So they haven't lost any equity that they've built through the years, and we don't see any of that coming down. Now it's going to be slower growth. Last year, Allen County in this area, about 5.4% appreciation, meaning your home's worth 5% more than it was last year. This year, over the next 12 months, the economists are predicting we're about 3.3%, which is a nice steady growth, kind of getting back to where we need to be, not that crazy 10, 12% that we achieved in the first few years of the COVID era. So when we're looking through that process, buyer has an opportunity to go take a look. We get to go back and take a look maybe for a second time. During COVID, it was a line of people out of every door. It was almost like the famous Christmas gift that everybody was trying to achieve. That's what homes were like over the last couple of years, or those first 2 years of COVID. And now we're just getting a chance to really say, Jessica, is this a home that you really love? Is this something that your furniture and you can see yourself living here? Why don't you sleep on it? We'll go maybe come back tomorrow and take a look. We didn't have that option for a really long time.
Yeah, people need to kind of make up their minds a little bit. But I think it was important what you were talking about the affordability. And you're like, okay, so Fort Wayne is the 3rd market. I remember when I first moved here, people were like, oh, this is such an affordable city. But what I realized is that what makes it affordable is by getting a home, because the apartment complexes out here are so expensive. And so you're looking at that and how much money you're wasting, right? And there's no value that you're adding to it. So that's why home ownership really is an investment for your future. So sometimes when people are thinking about like, oh my gosh, should I buy a home? What would you say to them? Because it's important to start to, put money where you can get that back.
Absolutely, 100%. We talk about interest rates, and that's kind of been a little barrier for most people. Talking, we were down in those 3 and 4 numbers, and now we're in that 6 number. When we're renting, we're paying 100% interest rate. And I never really kind of put that together, but that's what it is. We're not gaining any equity, or as the values of homes continue to appreciate, we're not seeing that. And I believe more now than ever, if we're looking for a first-time home buyer, encourage them to at least put a game plan together and explore that option. It's fearful. I understand. It's a fearful, to experience the unknown. What's it like to have to go get a mortgage and kind of qualify, and would a bank even consider me for a loan? Those are all fears that after sitting down with clients throughout the years, we put a game plan together and we talk about that and we connect with the right people and the right resources.
Yeah.
But the affordability, absolutely. Especially for an apartment or renting a home, there's many times I see that you can actually purchase a home and it'd be a less monthly amount for that. And you're
paying
getting
mortgages now.
Yeah.
And then the apartments get more and more greedy because they want to keep going up
Yeah.
and increasing the rate, and the market rate is insane. It's like, come on, like it's a steal. They're stealing from people, honestly. So I do love that of what you're saying about people just having that option, and that option of home buying can absolutely feel intimidating. And so where would people start? I mean, honestly, I think they're like, okay, so many things to think about. Is it starting with the bank to find out what they can even get approved for?
I always invite everyone to start with me.
Okay.
That way I can help guide them into that situation of what bank, what programs may be available. There's a misconception out there that we need to put 20% down on a house. We definitely have programs that are 0% down still in Fort Wayne, Allen County and surrounding areas. 3% down is a conventional loan, 3.5% for some government FHA loans. A VA loan is really just can be utilized and helpful for so many of our veterans. And 5%, 10%, 20% down. There's just so many out there, and just love to kind of say, okay, where are we at right now? What's your budget in regards to how much money you're spending right now on your rent? Or let's put a game plan together and talk about it and go through that process. So that way we can kind of connect them with the right people.
Yeah, because and I think that's the thing, is talking to someone like you who's experienced, and you can kind of look out for all the resources that are available, right? I kind of think about like when people go off to college, right? Like I have a niece that's going off to college next, and it's like, there's so many scholarships that are available. There's financial aid that's available. There's all these resources. But if she doesn't talk to a counselor who knows those resources and can help guide and has your back, then you're going to be lost. It's the same thing when you're buying a home. You need a resource that you can trust, that will be guided. And that's exactly what you do for our community.
Thank you. Yeah. And it is something that I take pride in. I sit back and I look. My wife was a school teacher for a number of years, and I seen the impact that she was making on people's lives.
Yeah.
And when I chose that real estate career, I thought I could do that financially to impact and help others around the globe, because of the fact that, hey, look, we have college to pay for. Now all of a sudden we put you in a home a number of years ago, and now that is a resource that you can use to help further education or help, just build wealth for the family. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you also know about all the new developments that are happening. Oh my goodness. So all those home tours were so fun, and I know we're going to do more.
Oh yeah. We got a couple around the corner.
Inside. Yes. Okay, so before we wrap up, George, is there anything else, just a major parting tip that you want to give our viewers just about what their minds should be thinking right now when it comes to either the market or if they should be thinking about buying or selling?
It goes down to life. Don't put your life on hold, especially if it's fearful of you selling your home for the first time or wanting to make that upgrade or downgrade into something a little bit different. Seek out the resource. Give me a call. Let's have a conversation so that you have the knowledge to know whether or not right now or in the near future is the right time for you. So don't let fear dictate your future decisions.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So good to chat with you.
Good to see you.
And if you would like more information about the Raptis team, we will have the phone number actually, so you can contact George to get more information about how to make this new step. And like George said, do not be fearful. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Mike Thomas Associates.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Hi, I'm Karen Purcell.
And I'm Jacob Palmer from BestReviews.com.
Be sure to take out your phone and scan that QR code and get ready to scan, shop, and save. We're talking about bestsellers today. Some of them are my favorites. This is the Owala water bottle. It's all over my house. My teenagers love it.
So Owala is a name that really recently hit the scene, but it seems like it's absolutely everywhere. And the reason why this is here today is because it makes drinking water so much easier. You know, a lot of the times I think people are kind of intimidated by how much they're supposed to drink in terms of water a day. And this makes it so much easier because it's got cool features that I don't think a lot of their competitors have thought of before, and it comes in at a great price point.
Absolutely, and I really love the colorway, so it's a hit for the teenagers and adults alike. All right, next is a beauty bundle, some of my favorite by Hero. This is their Mighty Patch, which is great for acne, and this is their Retinol Balm, which is it's a huge bestseller.
And what we love about it is that it is extremely popular. This bundle that we're showing today has sold more than 100,000 units in the last month. So make sure that when that QR code is up there, you get your own, because it does make a difference in terms of people's day-to-day life.
Yeah, and everyone loves really those pimple patches. That they make a huge difference, and retinol is a huge ingredient right now in the beauty category. So I love both. All right, next is by Tapo, and this is a home security system. I feel like everyone is sort of putting cameras in and around their homes.
And they're popular all over the place. You know, dash cams right now is another really popular one because people want to make sure that they're protecting their stuff. And so this is great for your home, especially if you want to be able to maybe track your pet while you're at work. And this is a great product because it comes in at such a fair price. You get 4 different cameras to make sure that you've got every corner covered.
Absolutely. All right, and finally by Carhartt, a great brand, really kind of industry standard. And this is their insulated lunchbox.
Yeah, and this is a brand that used to be pretty isolated and contained to folks that, you know, were perfect for the job site and things like that. Now it's just basically for everybody, but this is still perfect for the job site because it has great insulated technology in it, so it's perfect for that lunchbox, but it's also great for the weekend as well, you know, if you want to be able to use it for a cooler.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at all 4 products, which are definitely bestsellers. Take out your phone, scan that QR code, and get ready to scan, shop, and save.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.